I'm now going to go over with you some general ideas for short deck. I'm going to approach this in terms of trying to explain it in a way that a no limit hold'em or pot limit Omaha or somebody who plays other big bet forms of poker is going to understand. And I've broken down these general ideas to kind of offset them against what you should be doing in no limit hold'em, for example. So the first one, which is a big one, is you got to play more hands. You're getting a better price pre-flop than you are in any other form of poker. As I went over in the rules section of this training course, the blinds and antes are different in this game. And as a result of the structure of the blinds and antes, you're just always getting a great price to enter the pot in this game. It's basically like there's a small blind in every position around the table, and the button is the big blind. And then let's say you're under the gun, you're now getting 7-1 to enter the pot with a call. So for that reason, you've got to play much looser pre-flop in this game than you do in any other form of poker. Now, another big difference between this game and no limit hold'em, for example, hand equities run a lot closer. So actually, hand equities even run closer in this game than they do in pot limit Omaha, where people, traditionally hand equities are run close in pot limit Omaha. Well, they run even closer in this game. So what do you need to do? How do you adjust to the fact that hand equities are running closer? Well, one thing is you fold less. You also need to overbet more, and you don't want to be slow playing. When you slow play in this game, you're just giving your opponents a chance to catch up. Basically, it's really hard to come up with scenarios in short deck where it's appropriate to slow play because your opponents have such little equity. Almost all of the time, your opponents are going to have very good equity in the pot, and you want to be charging them on every street. Now, there is one board type, which is the opposite of this, which we'll get into later. Another general idea about short deck is that blockers actually go up in value. So the reason for this is there are only 36 cards in the deck. So let's say you have 2 blockers in your hand to a straight that could be on the board. Let's say you have pocket 9s on 10, 8, 7. All of a sudden, those blockers are a lot more important than they are in no limit hold'em, because on a percentage basis, you are blocking a larger percentage of the cards in the deck that account for straights. So when you have blockers, you want to be either using them aggressively to bluff, or you want to be using them to, in your head, discount the combos that your opponent could have that make a straight and call down wider. And the final thing is that straight draws are more valuable in this game than they are in any other form of poker. And the reason for that is because all the cards are kind of more bunched together. We've removed the deuces, 3s, 4s, and 5s from the deck, so it's a shorter deck. It's more likely that a straight will come. And for that reason, some hands pre-flop that gain value in this game are the middling connected hands. Let's say your 9-10s and Jack-10s. Those are the biggest examples. In no limit hold'em, if you have king-queen, that hand is always going to be stronger than 9-10. You almost always pre-flop to prefer to have king-queen versus 9-10. Whereas in this game, it's actually situation dependent, and many times 9-10 could be a stronger hand than king-queen. And it's simply because 9-10 has more straight possibilities, and because straights come so much more often in this game, that hand has more value. 9-10 has a lot of playability in short deck, as does Jack-10.